This was my dream custom-made wedding dress that I wore in 2022. And I bought it off Etsy from a wedding dressmaker in China for $670. At least 3 or 4 times less than what a similar dress would cost me in the US. In 2025 in the US, a custom wedding dress like what I got usually starts at about $5,000. The average cost of a wedding dress in the US, $1,500 to $2,500. And that's before alterations. I received my dress 1.5 months after ordering it, after paying a $60 fee to expedite the process. You can absolutely buy great quality wedding dresses off Etsy for just a few $100s. But there are also pitfalls to buying a dress from a seller across the world. I fell victim to one of these pitfalls, and my initial cost of $670 ballooned to nearly $1,600 after I received my dress, which I will get into and how this could have been avoided. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through 6 really important steps to find the right dressmaker and avoid any bad surprises, so you can get the dress of your dreams on your budget. But before we continue, hit that like button and subscribe. It would really help the algorithm and support me in making more videos like this. First of all, are you a good candidate for buying off Etsy instead of shopping in person? Well, the reason I went the Etsy route comes down to budget and pickiness. I didn't want to spend any more than $1,000 because this is a dress for just one day. And I also wanted something that looked quality and not super cheap, because there are a lot of cheap dresses that look really cheap. I was also extremely picky about style. I wanted off-the-shoulder straps, a corset-style bodice, and a very slim A-line skirt. No lace, no itty-bitty flowers. I visited numerous wedding dress shops in Los Angeles, California, and it was impossible for me to find a dress that fit all my specifications within my budget. Now on Etsy, you'll find a plethora of sellers from around the world offering custom-made dresses for just a few $100s. Most of the highest rated dressmakers are from China or Eastern Europe. One reason is because labor is cheaper in these countries, so the dresses can be sold cheaply enough that brides are willing to take the risk of buying online. That's what I found out when I asked about 10 different Etsy sellers how quality dresses can be sold so cheaply. They also told me that buying on Etsy is cheaper because you're buying directly from the designer and manufacturer, which cuts out the middleman, the dress shop, which marks up the dresses in order to cover the cost of its own overhead like rent and staff, and turn a profit. Cheap Etsy dresses aren't too good to be true if you choose your seller wisely and follow a few really important steps. What you want to avoid is inauthentic sellers who aren't real designers. They simply buy dresses for cheap and then resell them. There are shady actors out there, so to find a reputable seller, do these 4 things. 1. Look for reviews with photos. Click on a seller's name to see how many sales they've made and all their reviews. Each seller offers a selection of styles. If you click on a specific dress, you'll see reviews for that dress. Now, I'm a little skeptical of reviews these days since I know there are ways to pay people or give away free product in exchange for good reviews. So I personally wouldn't buy a dress unless there are reviews with photos. Etsy used to allow you to directly message other buyers, but they got rid of this feature, which is so disappointing. In 2022, I had messaged a girl who bought the same dress that I was interested in, and I got positive feedback from her with photos, and that was so reassuring. 2, make sure to check for reviews of the Etsy seller you're interested in on other platforms, like YouTube, Reddit, or The Knot. 3, Google reverse image search a seller's dresses to make sure the photos weren't ripped from somewhere else, like a designer collection or Amazon. Keep in mind, there are also bad actors out there who steal images from Etsy sellers and sell poor quality replicas for cheaper. And finally, check for non-professional photos, like photos of the dresses still being worked on or photos of a seller's brides wearing their dresses. You can check for these on Etsy, the seller's Instagram, or their website. I bought my dream custom wedding dress from a seller named LaceMarry. She's from China, and she's one of the highest rated sellers on Etsy. I'm going to link to a few other reputable sellers who are well reviewed across platforms in the information below. You can choose one of LaceMarry's designs at a set price, and she'll make it to your custom measurements. You can also pay a customization fee and modify her design to your liking. Or you can send her a photo of any dress you want and she'll try to replicate it to the best of her ability. When I asked LaceMarry to make me a dress like this one, she said she could recreate it with 50 to 70% likeness. I chose one of LaceMarry's designs, which cost me about $450. I paid an extra $165 to customize it, plus taxes and fees. But I also paid an extra $60 to expedite the process since my wedding was in just 2 months. Now, I'm gonna tell you the customizations I asked for. This is important because this is where things got messy. The original design I asked for comes with a ball gown-like skirt. I was extremely adamant that I did not want a ball gown. I wanted a slim A-line skirt like this, which I reiterated numerous times with photos, and I also asked for smaller, detachable sleeves. The seller agreed. 1.5 months later, this is the dress I got. As you can see, it was less of a ball gown than the original design, but the skirt style was not even close to what I asked for. Also, the sleeves were way too long and not detachable. I believe this could have been avoided if I had asked for photos and videos of the dress before it was shipped. So the 5th really key step is to always ask for photos and videos before the dress ships. Since my wedding was in just 2.5 weeks, I didn't have time to ship the dress back to China for more alterations. I had to alter it at the local David's Bridal, costing an additional $1,017. The seller refunded me my $165 customization fee. I ended up with the perfect dress, but it cost way more than I expected to spend, but still less than it would have cost in the US. LaceMarry was very communicative, but things can still get lost in translation when you're working with someone from across the world on a really rushed timeline. Moral of the story, start the process as soon as possible. The 6th key step is to give yourself several months of leeway to fix anything that goes wrong. That way, the dressmaking isn't rushed and there's still time to send the dress back in case it's different from what you and the seller had agreed on. Otherwise, you might end up paying American prices for alterations, which is exactly what you were trying to avoid by buying from an overseas seller on Etsy. I totally get that your wedding day is a really special day when all eyes and cameras are on you and you want to feel your best in whatever it is that you're wearing. But it also is just one day. So I totally get the tension between wanting to look and feel amazing and not break the bank. I think Etsy is a really great solution for this, if you do it right. If there's anything I missed, drop it in the comments below. And I hope you feel beautiful on your wedding day.